Hi everyone, welcome back to My Perspective. I'm your host, Shelby Wright, and today we're going to be talking about a social media cleanse and why you need to do one. So I've been thinking about different types of intros and recaps of my week because every podcast has one, whether it's highs and lows, not your typicals, your favorite things of the week, pretty much just recapping your week and getting to know your audience a little bit better. I haven't figured out what mine is, but I'm going to start with highs and lows. And whenever I figure out what works best for me, I'm going to stick with it. But I do want to give you recaps on my week and keep you updated on my life. So every intro of my episodes are going to start with a little bit of something. Let's start with lows so we can always end off on a high, like the surrounding towns. And I'm also laying in my sauna blanket. It's 1:30. I got off work not too long ago, just had lunch. And after this episode, I'm going to take a nap because I never take a nap. And sometimes I just need a nap and I need to probably catch up on some sleep. And then after my nap, I'm going to edit the podcast. I need to go to Target to buy more dog food. Miso needs to go on a walk if it ever stops raining. I have a ton of cleaning and a ton of homework to do. I also have to answer some emails. And today's a pretty chill day. Like, I have a lot of things to do, but I don't have any meetings or I'm scheduling to see somebody. My calendar is completely open for the rest of the day. And usually when I have stuff in my calendar, it stresses me out. So it's kind of nice that the rest of the day I can do whatever I want and it can take as long as I want and really not be rushed and be like, oh shoot, I need to go this place. I need to go there. It went by, okay, the quarter is going by so fast. We're in going into week 8, and I leave for Florida in a week and a half, which is actually crazy. I'm going to visit. I need to buy Max's present. Oh my gosh, I have to buy Max's anniversary present. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna freak. Okay, I'm gonna pause this episode really quick and buy his anniversary present. Oh my goodness, because I'm going to Florida. I hope it comes in time. I'm really excited for our anniversary, obviously. It's gonna be our 3-year anniversary. Okay, well, this week has been going really fast. So I had a lot to do this week. I worked a lot. I honestly, since using ChatGPT, really simplified my life. And I've been able to get homework done faster. I pay attention in class better. I don't feel like my emails and my messages are flooded with information. So it's been, like, my mind is clear. Let's go back into the highs and lows because my recap, not much has really happened. I am giving a presentation to my sorority tomorrow for Eating Disorder Awareness Week, which I'm very excited about. I need to practice my speech and go over my slides again, but this is like a super cool opportunity for me to spread awareness and recovery and really show everyone the resources we have on campus, because a lot of people go through college not realizing that we have free therapy, that we have free support groups and a food bank and all these resources to really help them grow in this difficult 4 years of your life. It's not always the best years of your life. So I'm going to be presenting that and hopefully educating some girls on the stigmas and really just opening up that conversation, which I'm very excited about. Back to the highs and lows. So my low of this week is I had a lot of paperwork with insurance and back and forth with my doctors. And it was really stressful for me because every day I was trying to get people to talk to each other, but always playing phone tag with them. And then it was interfering with my schedule. And then I felt like I was either a bad employee or a bad friend for always waiting on my phone for a phone call and then missing that phone call. So it was just kind of hectic with my week and getting all those paperworks and the papers for them to talk to each other and all that sort of thing. But I'm hoping by next week I'll really have it set for, I'm really hoping that next week I'll have set all the insurance stuff and it will be out of my hands. I shouldn't be worrying about this. Also registered for classes, which went really well this week, and I got into every class that I really needed to be in, and that means I'm going to be graduating on time, so I'm really excited about that. But my high of the week was my roommates and I had a movie night. So yesterday actually, I came home from work. Oh no, this is 2 days ago. I came home from work. I cooked dinner. They were already downstairs, which is super cute, and Marina made popcorn, and I made some cookies. and we all watched Outer Banks together. We had a new roommate move in this month, or beginning of this month, and we've been so busy with like her moving in and just our lives schedules like weren't working out with each other. So it was really fun to finally all together hang out and plan. We also just got a TV, so we've been like waiting for this new TV. So it was super fun to like all hang out finally together. It's such a healthy living environment. I'm so grateful for it, and really truly living with amazing, supportive, kind people makes such a difference in a household. It makes the environment and the energy so good. And I don't know how I've lived with other people before this, because it's either they're a very good roommate or they're not a good person, or they're a great person but not a good roommate. And I finally found two people who have the same living style as me and the same values, and just as a person they're a great person, but they're also clean and respectful, and they're very respectful of the boundaries that we all have and never push the boundaries. And I can see myself being long-term friends with them. So that was my high of the week, was just spending quality time with my roommates and really building a foundation for those friendships. And I'm going to be living with them for like at least another 4 months. I want everyone to go on their phone if you're not driving. Go into your settings, click on screen time. Either look at your screen time from your social media use or just your screen time in general, and do the week one, like your week average, and multiply that by 52. Look at how long you spend on social media and really think about it. I spend 500 hours a year on social media. 500 hours. I think that's like 28 days. Okay, I basically spend 20 full days of my life on social media. That might not seem that bad, but I could learn so much in 20 days. So this is what really made me realize that I needed to take a social media break, along with it being an assignment for my class. This is why I think you should take a break. So now going into the episode this week, we're going to be talking about taking a social media break, or really looking at your intentions of using social media. You can expect to hear why I took a break, why you need to take one, what I accomplished during this break, and what I'm going to, not precautions, but the boundaries I'm going to put on for myself to limit how much social media I use in the future. And then I'll summarize that all out for you guys at the very end. I'm in a family psychology class with Professor Barrett at Cal Poly. She actually has a podcast called The Reluctant Therapist, and I listened to 2 episodes so far, and I love her class. So it's kind of cool that now I know she has a podcast, because I think she has like 500 episodes, which is insane. So now I feel as though I'm always in her class and absorbing all the information she has. Miso's chewing a toy right next to me. In this class, one of our assignments was to not use social media for minimum a week. No Instagram, no Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, whatever, Facebook. Personally, I only use TikTok, Snapchat, and Instagram. Mainly, most people I think only did a week. I wasn't going to do it. I was just going to write a reflection essay, BSing the whole thing, because I was trying to come up with every excuse possible why I can't go off social media. And now looking back, that's so lame of me. I really couldn't take a single week off social media. Really, it's 7 days. That's nothing. Some people don't have social media just in general. Why was I freaking out about 1 week? Some of my thoughts were, what if it ruins my algorithm with TikTok? I'm not this mega influencer where it's actually going to affect how much money I'm making. No, that's not my reality. One of the things is I use TikTok as a Google search. Well, you know what? I found ChatGPT during this week. It's kind of better than TikTok, not gonna lie. Another reason I wasn't gonna go off of it was I use Snapchat. Oh, Miso saying hi. I use Snapchat to mainly talk to most of my friends and my boyfriend. That might seem lame to some people. I refuse to lose my streak with my boyfriend. We have like a 1,500-day streak, which maybe not even long for some people. The only reason I actually care about our streak is because it marks the first day I ever Snapchatted him. I want that like day there. To prepare for this week off break, we were supposed to tell all our friends and social media people that we were going to be off social media. I only used Snapchat to talk to him, and then all my friends, I told them, message me. I don't even use Snapchat as like a social media platform, like looking at stories and posting private stories. I really just use it to text people and like group chats. Going off Snapchat wasn't a big deal to me. Instagram, I already didn't really, I go on Instagram maybe 10 minutes a day, so that wasn't a big deal either. I do like watching stories on on Instagram. Like I have a wellness Instagram called My Perspective Podcast actually, so go follow that. But I use that mainly to post stories and watch like my friends' stories who like are in the wellness community. For TikTok, that was my hardest one because I use TikTok as a social crutch to make videos, to post videos, to watch it for information, just to scroll mindlessly. I use TikTok a lot more than I really should. I don't use Twitter or Facebook or any other platform. I probably spend like 1 second a day on Pinterest. So Pinterest wasn't a big deal either. So I decided to take this break, and I really did it. I wasn't off of it from a Sunday to a Sunday. Some of my challenges were, I'm in the group chat with a bunch of girls, and they all went out one night. I guess they said for me to come out with them in this group chat, even though they knew I was only texting people at the moment. So I never got a text to go out. That night, I didn't even care. Like, I think I knew that they were going out, or like someone like called me, but I didn't pick up, so I didn't know like what the call was about. They didn't leave a message or anything. I was doing my own thing that night, so I didn't have FOMO or anything. Like, I didn't feel like left out. I realized that not having Snapchat actually made people not contact me, and they wouldn't message me. Personally, I don't really care if it's, so basically the point of this, of like not going on social media, is like if someone really needs to contact you, they have your phone number and they're going to call you or they're going to text you. If they want to hang out with you, they're going to come to your door or they're going to text you to hang out. Nobody's going to not talk to you if they really want to see you or tell you something. And that's what I really realized, was the stuff posted on social media and Snapchat and all this stuff, it's not that important if you're not going to text me. If you really wanted me to know, like me personally, you're going to text me. I made that clear to people when they were like, oh, why didn't you come out? Why didn't you do this? I'm like, well, I never got a message. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry I didn't message you. I'm like, it's fine. I don't actually care, but you really didn't want me there, so don't say you wanted me there, you know? And then another challenge I faced was, I went out to a party, and I didn't know anyone here. I went with my roommate because it was her friend. I couldn't go on my phone, basically, as a social crutch, because I didn't want to talk to anybody, but I couldn't go on my phone. Or when I would have a break at work, I couldn't go on my phone, mindlessly scroll for 10 minutes. I had to sit there and actually talk to the people in the break room. And when you think about it, 10 minutes on social media goes by in seconds. You see like 3 videos and then you're done. 10 minutes of just sitting there in an office where everyone else is on their phone and you're just sitting there goes by so slow. I also realized when going out to dinner and not going on my phone that so many people are on their devices instead of talking to other people. Taking a break from social media, I realized that I had so much less anxiety and stress, and my mental health was so much better. I would wake up every morning not needing to check my phone, not seeing what happened last night, what did I miss, who's texting me, what did I do wrong when this happened, blah, blah, blah. I was able to wake up and be like, oh, fresh day. I get to talk to my roommates, I get to go to work and school and all this stuff. I was detached from my phone. I think that our generation is going to be addicted to our phones, and there's going to be rehabs for phone addiction. I'm just calling it right now. There's going to be phone addict. I bet people are already addicted to their phone, because if my phone vibrates a little, not adrenaline, but like my heart kind of stops. Basically, our generation is completely attached to our phone, and that's not the real world. If you really think about it, social media is not like in the air. It's not real. I don't know. It's just kind of weird to think about and sad to know that we didn't always have this. And I'm not saying that there aren't good things to social media. I'm talking more of the sense of like mindless scrolling when you go on it and you feel bad, and when you start to develop bad habits or compare yourself and just kind of feel bad and negative after using it. Yes, there's funny videos and people make money from it, and it can change your life and all these things, and you're connecting with people, and that is the benefit of social media. But how many people are really doing that? How many people really only use it just to find funny dog videos, or only use social media to really talk to their friends and families, and they don't use filters, they don't edit their photos, they're not posting just so people know for like status or power? Who genuinely uses it in a wholesome way? Not many people, I bet. Not many. And that's the issue. It's gonna ruin my algorithm with like the brands that want to work with me, or the followers, and people are gonna think I'm not active. Really, nobody's paying attention to how much you post a day, probably. Nobody's waiting on their phone for you to post, being like, oh, she only posted once this week, like I wonder what's wrong. Maybe your best friends are thinking that, but nobody else. People are bombarded with so much information nowadays. They're seeing creator after creator after creator. There's very few people that are only like have your notifications on and your info, and they only want to see your post. They're only following you. That's just not a thing, I think. There's, oh my god, my friends won't want to be friends with me if they can't contact me. They're not your real friends then. Let's say that you had, I've heard this of, you got like an Android, your iPhone friends don't want to talk to you anymore because your bubbles are green when they message you, and then they stop being your friends. Are they really your friends if that's the one thing that changes in your friendship? Are they really your friend if you stop using Instagram or you get rid of Snapchat? No, they're not really your friend, because a real friend wants to hang out with you in person, tell you everything in person, and doesn't expect you to call or text them every single day. So what are some reasons that maybe someone else would not want to go on social media? You're going to get FOMO. And I didn't get FOMO because I knew what I was doing was way more fun to me, way more fulfilling, way more productive, and I wasn't going to wake up the next day and be like, oh, I didn't do anything today, or what happened last night, I don't remember, or wake up with anxiety, or you name it. You can't get FOMO if you don't know what's happening. You get FOMO when you're looking on social media when you weren't invited, and you're seeing the photos and the videos where everyone looks so happy and they're having the best time of their life, but are they really? Or are they posting it? Because if you're having that much fun, usually your phone isn't out, and you're just trying to make everyone think that you're having the best time of your life. So really, you're not going to miss out on that much. It's only a week or a day, however long you want to do it. I'm not telling you to completely stop using social media for the rest of your life, because that doesn't work for everybody, and I understand that. It doesn't work for me. That's why I'm not going to do that. I set up boundaries for myself now, and I'm not devoting all my energy and time into a fake world. Now I'm going to tell you about what I accomplished. Shocked about what I did in that 1 week. I read 2 books. I'm an avid reader, and in the summer I can read a book in a day when I'm like not doing anything, not working, In this 7-day period, I was still taking 20 units. I was still working 16 hours a week, and I have a dog that takes up a lot of my time and energy, and I still cook for myself. I still had to see friends and do all these things, and I had the time to read 2 books. And the reason for this was, before I went to bed, I would read for about an hour. And when I would drive places or listening to a podcast, and I wasn't just scrolling mindlessly on social media anymore, like I was going to bed refreshed and my brain was tired, and I wasn't going to bed anxious and thinking about the million things I needed to post or see or respond to. I was letting myself relax and read these 2 books, and I found that reading fantasy books, like fiction books, are the best for myself to wind down. So I was able to complete 2 of those. For Valentine's Day, my boyfriend got me an Audible gift card to listen to books, which is so sweet because that is a very thoughtful gift for myself because he knows that I spend hundreds of dollars on books every year. It wasn't something like materialistic. This was something that's going to improve my life, that I'm going to learn. I'm going to learn and be able to share with him these stories and prepare myself the next day, since I do it at night and it refreshes my brain and lets me rest. Another thing I accomplished was I started this podcast. I started this podcast when I did this week detox break. That's awesome because I've been talking about this podcast for 2 years now. 2 years. You can only talk about something so much before you give up on yourself. Before I gave myself all these reasons why I can't start a podcast. Why, and that could be anything for someone. It could be why you don't start a blog, a YouTube channel, why you don't start knitting or sewing or starting a new sport or learning a new language. It doesn't have to be something influencer realm, but it's doing anything. Nobody wants to hear you talk about something a million times over and over because they just want you to do it. However, I will say that talking about something you want to accomplish will make you want to accomplish it 10 times more because those people are probably holding yourself accountable and you're not keeping this goal to yourself to where you only let yourself. I'm not saying that like not accomplishing a goal lets other people down. Makes people remind you of something you really wanted to do and to hold yourself to it. Every single time I wanted to start this podcast, I would make an excuse why I couldn't. My mic broke. I don't know how to edit. I don't have time. My laptop, blah, blah, blah. Like I always made an excuse and then I always set myself a goal and then I would never do it. So like one of my goals was I'm going to make this my senior project and then I was just going to wait out until my senior project started. Like, no, I need to start this now. So I made a goal that I'm going to make this podcast before the end of January. And I did that because it's been on my New Year's resolutions for 2 years now. That's ridiculous. And I was on my goal this year and I could have waited until December to start it. And technically I accomplished it within this year. But no, I should have accomplished it 2 years ago. I know that what I say will influence people and I want to influence them in the right way to achieve their goals and to make those healthy habits and be their best selves. But I need to be my best self in order to show people that they can be their best selves. So another thing I accomplished was I called my family more. And this was one of my goals for myself during this week. I called my sister for an hour and I think I called my aunt for an hour and those are 2 hours within a week. That's very precious time. But I had those 2 hours now, and that's a way better quality time to spend with somebody than on your phone. I'm using that phone for the good. Another thing I accomplished was, and in my family psychology class, this is my favorite class, we're not allowed to use any devices. We have to do pen and paper, which really freaked me out before because I have really bad audio dyslexia and I have a hard time writing notes and really paying attention. This is my favorite class. And if we took a test on this class, I'd probably do really well on it. We don't have tests. Actually, we do have a final, I'm pretty sure. This class is great. One, being off social media, and 2, really paying attention in this class showed me what I deserve in friendships, what I deserve in relationships, what my self-worth is, and what is a normal relationship and what is an unhealthy relationship. I kind of learned the red flags, what differentiates this friendship as a good friendship that you need to, you're just having a hard time and that you need to grow on and work on, versus a friendship that is a bad example of a friendship to work on and make better, because this is just not a healthy person to have in your life. I heard another podcaster say this, that you don't attract toxic people. And I resonated with that so well because in this social media detox, I was really able to look within and realize that I don't attract the toxic people. I need to stop that narrative. The toxic people will always be there. They are there for everybody. I accepted that and I finally did action on how to stop that, because I was letting myself repeat this cycle of making myself less than for other people. But being a doormat for other people is one of the most exhausting things. And I'm a helpie in like a psychology class right now, where it's basically like they're learning how to be reflective as a therapist. And I ranted to this girl, and I realized that these relationships in my life actually caused harm in my other relationships because I personally was not doing well. I was anxious to look at my phone. I was self-critical that I was impacting the other friendships in a bad way because I felt so diminished in this friendship that I then I thought of myself less than as a friend and as a person. And I thought there was something wrong with me. And then I let that bleed into other people when they never thought of that about me. They never were like, oh, Shelby sucks. Shelby doesn't respond to me. She doesn't love me. She doesn't want to hang out with me. They never thought that in the first place. They thought I was a great friend. They thought I was kind. They thought I loved them and that I'll always be there for them and care for them. My insecurities started to bleed into these friendships because I was letting someone else treat me like that. And that's not okay. In this social media detox, I really was able to clear my brain of this brain fog and anxiety around social media, and was really able to look within my friendships and be like, what's going on? Why am I so strung out every single day? I was able to change that habit. Within this week, I was able to stand up for myself and be like, hey, you need to stop this. I need to figure it out and make a change because I can't wait 3 more months. I can't wait until this, and this happens. I need to stop I don't procrastinate like homework and work. I think I procrastinate hard conversation, hard things in life, and I need to not do that. I went over a lot of things that I was able to accomplish in this week. I really noticed that my mental health, I felt so productive. I was getting so much done within a day, and on the weekends I would have no homework, and I was able to enjoy it and sleep in, not worry about not having enough time in the day. And I actually got my sleep schedule down because I've been having a hard time falling asleep, and now I'm finally getting tired by 10:30. That's freaking awesome. Now we're going to talk about how I plan to limit social media in the future. Because yes, you can do a social media detox, blah, 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 but what are you going to do now? How are you going to improve your life from then? Because if you're not going to do anything, yes, you get all this inner insight in a week and you feel great for a week. But if you only do that once a year for a week, it's not really benefiting yourself. This is my plan to be more mindful in the future. First off, is I set more strict timers for myself. So I think TikTok is 40 minutes when it was an hour and a half, and Instagram is 10 minutes when it used to be 20 minutes. And I don't really have one for Pinterest or anything like that. That was pretty much it. I don't count Snapchat as social media anyways, because I don't do streaks, I don't look at stories, I don't post stories, I don't post on a private story really. So that's not really my form of social media. So I put stricter limits on myself, and this has helped me because I also have like the little notifications that are like, hey, you've been on this for 20 minutes straight, like get off. Stricter limits on social media lets me know, hey, you've spent almost an hour today. And that's a lot of my time. I could have read for an hour. I could have called a family member for an hour, walked my dog. I could have done so many other things that are fulfilling and that make me happier and that are building my future and building myself. But I spent it on social media. And that's okay. We're human. Like, we're going to spend time on our phones. But I just want to be mindful to not spend any more, basically. I don't need to scroll on TikTok while I eat, because then I get to the end of my bowl of food and I'm like, where did my food go? Really just sitting there in silence and being bored is good for you. Being bored is good for you. You don't always need to have your brain going on and on and on. I think that's where anxiety is created. And same goes for when I'm on my 10-minute break at work. I don't need to go check TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and my emails. Like, I need to check my texts and text my boyfriend, and that's it, and talk to my coworkers. Also, I'm not one to use or to like go out and take photos anyways, but trying to be in the moment, not trying to go do something for the picture perfect moment. I think my life is so interesting and so fun and so cool, and if I had someone filming me 24/7, I think people would be really interested in what I do on TikTok, or have a YouTube channel, or have a reality TV show. I think people would be very interested. But the reality is, I don't have the capacity to record everything in my life and make it look good and curated to where people want to watch it. And that's just life. And when I can record, that's great. When I can post, that's great. But I don't need to be strict to myself. Basically, it's all going to work out whether or not how much you're actually on social media. I just feel like it takes up so much of your time and energy, and we don't even realize how much time we're wasting. Like, I could have learned a new freaking language by now. So if I were to help you limit social media, I would say stop doing streaks on Snapchat if that's your thing. Stop posting on the story. Post on your private story. Make yourself more mysterious. Make yourself less accessible to everybody. Try to go back to like when we were in middle school and we would take a photo of our shoes and share it with everyone. We thought that was the coolest thing ever, like posting a pic of our Adidas sneakers. Go back to like the roots of Instagram where we're just sharing the fun moments we're having and things that we're up to, not going on your phone first thing in the morning and at night, and finding what are things you love to do. What do you love to do? I love to read. I love to hang out with my dog and be outside, and I love to do so many things. Let's do that. Let's go do something more productive. Or if you're going to be on your phone, habit stack it. Like go on a walk and go on TikTok. I want you to really look at your own relationship with social media and your phone and try to make changes if that's necessary. If you see yourself constantly wired when you see a notification, or that's the first thing and last thing you do when you wake up, I've noticed that if I check my phone first thing in the morning, that my whole day actually revolves around my phone and checking notifications and seeing what's up on there. And if I go to bed first, like on my phone, I have a harder time falling asleep. So look at what it's like for you and how you can improve it. Maybe deleting social media before you go to bed and re-downloading it in the morning. Or maybe it's setting a password where you don't actually know the passcode, so you can't use it. Whatever, not using it when you're doing homework, putting your phone on Do Not Disturb, deleting it for the whole weekend. Whatever that is for you, you need to figure out what's going to work for you. I figured out what's best for me. And I also took social media just off my app page. I have to search it, which has helped because it's such a habit to click on the app right when you go on it. My main point of this whole episode is why I took the break, why I think other people should do a detox cleanse, and see really what you accomplish. List out every single day you accomplished something or you felt good, and then go ahead and make yourself a plan to take a break. Be in tune with yourself. I encourage you all to do this, obviously, and then share it on social media after. Share it with other people, because everyone talks about doing this, but who really does it? So share it with your friends, share it online, so maybe other people can do it too. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I had a lot more to talk about than I thought, but if you have any thoughts or if you do a social media detox, please let me know. I would love to hear your experience, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, rest of your night, rest of your week. I love you all. Okay, bye-bye.